Hey there. So today I'm coming to you with day 30 inside of a 30-day video challenge. And essentially what I want to discuss today is I want to discuss a recap and what I learned via this challenge. If you happen to be catching this content live, do me a favor and hit pound live. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you happen to be catching this via the replay, do me a favor and hit pound replay. Let me know where you are tuning in from. The word, one of the first things I want to say that I've learned, and one of the first things that I want to share is the word opportunity. A lot of us talk about, opportunity. A lot of us say to ourselves, man, if only I can get the opportunity. If you can get the opportunity to be in front of the right stage, if you get the right opportunity to work with a certain client, there's so many different things that would be possible for us, granted we get the right opportunity. But at times, though, the opportunity is not always given to us. We have to earn the opportunity. And I believe that one of the best ways to earn that opportunity is for us to build our own platforms and for us to build our own stages. And I believe that content, if you publish content on a very consistent basis, that is something that can give you your own platform. Not only will it give you your own platform, it will also give you your very own opportunity. Now, obviously, this is day 30 inside of a 30-day video challenge. This is not going to be my final time publishing content because I know that there's a lot of value in publishing content. But let's just say I'm just going to use, just a hypothetical number, for example. If I publish another 100 piece of content in the next year or so, that's going to grant me some opportunities. So you have the first 30 that I've done, and then you have another 100 piece of content that I've done. Combined, that's 130 pieces of content. And if I take those 130 pieces of content and I publish those, say, via a podcast, right? Or I publish those on YouTube or whatever the case may be. Well, the internet is built in or is based on content, right? So that's what makes the internet works. So because that's what makes the internet works, people will find me, people will gravitate towards me, and that's going to create opportunities for me. It's going to give me the ability to be on other people's stages, and it's going to give me the opportunities that I seek. So that's one of the first things that come to mind when I think about, from a recap standpoint, and I think about the 30 pieces of content that I've created. I don't want to stop there. I want to continue publishing content because I want my content to be able to create opportunities for me a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, so on and so forth. So that's one of the ways that I plan on doing that. What else have I learned in this 30-day video challenge? I learned that publishing content helps you to build confidence, right? So, this is my first time doing a 30-day video challenge. I've done video challenges in the past, but the more consistent you publish content, the more confidence you will gain, just like anything else, right? At first, the very first time you start to do it, the very first handful of time you start to do it, you're not going to do so well at it. That's just human nature. But what's going to happen is that practice, makes you better. I'm not going to say practice makes you perfect because it's hard to become perfect, but practice makes you better. And what I have found is that when you consistently publish content, it helps you to build that muscle and it helps you to build that confidence. Again, when you build that muscle, when you build that confidence, when it's time for you to go and speak on other platforms, right? You're not practicing on other people's platform. I believe that you need to practice on your own platform, and you need to, have some things in place first before you can go to someone else's house. So that's another thing that I like about publishing content because it helps you to build confidence. The other thing that comes to mind is you don't know it all, so lean into other people's content. No one knows it all. So because we don't know it all, we have to lean into other people's content. The internet, YouTube, podcasts, there's just so much content that is out there around your topic, around your services, around what it is that you do. I highly suggest that you lean in. I consume content on a very, very, very consistent basis. Why am I consuming content on a very consistent basis? So that way I could learn. I want to be able to learn from other individuals. There's so many people that's been around, that's been publishing content, that's been in the industry longer than I have. So I lean in, I listen to those individuals so that way I can become better at what it is that I do, and that way I can become better at publishing content. Now, obviously, when it's time for me to publish, my pieces of content is gonna come from my perspective, but I have to continuously to lean into other content, because that's one of the things that's going to make me just be just that much better. So that's something that I'll continue to do. The next thing that comes to mind from a recap standpoint is you can't review what you don't publish, right? So I could be sitting around saying, man, I want to get better at this publishing thing. I want to get better at this publishing thing. And I could just be talking about the fact that I want to get better at doing video content. But the only way that I'm going to get better is if I create a piece of content and I publish it and I go back and review it, right? Kind of like if you want to use a sports analogy, the individual that goes out on the basketball court records themselves playing. After they record themselves playing, they go back and they watch the tapes. After they watch the tapes, now they can say, okay, this is what I need to do differently. This is what I need to do differently, so on and so forth. So I believe that you can't review what you don't publish. So one of the best ways for you to review your skills from a publishing standpoint is for you to just put the thing out there. Obviously, it's recorded, right? Because it's recorded content. Go back, analyze it, and review it. And in that way, you can go ahead and have different versions of it. I believe that publishing content helps you with your framework because you will notice a theme. When I go back and I look at, let's just say I look at the first 20 pieces of content that I publish inside of this challenge, there are certain themes and there are certain things that I talk about in different ways on a more consistent basis. And if I don't already have a framework, if I don't already have a recipe, if I don't already have a methodology as to how I help my clients obtain a certain result, in going back and looking at and reviewing my content, you're going to notice some themes. Not only are you going to notice some themes, from that, you can go ahead and figure out and develop some type of a framework, right? So when I go back and I look at mine, the overall theme for me is, from a lead generation standpoint, do you have a system that allows people to become a lead? What are you going to do to give that person? What are you going to connect that person to in order for them to make that micro commitment with you? After they make their micro commitment with you, what is the next step in your marketing process? And then what is your conversion process, right? So those, when I go back and I look at, my content, that's my overall framework and that's my overall theme. And sometimes you don't know that until you start to consistently, publish. So that's another advantage and benefit to publishing. The other thing that will happen, this may not necessarily happen right away, but you would know what resonates, right? The internet is not always, kind. The internet is not always nice. Sometimes you publish pieces of content and no one, resonates with it, and, you get no engagement or whatever the case may be. All of that is part of the game, right? So because all of that is part of the game, at the same time, you're going to publish pieces of content that no one will resonate with at all. They're like, okay, this thing that this person is talking about makes absolutely no sense to me, and they won't resonate with it. But at the same time, there's going to be something that you're going to publish inside of, let's say if you're doing a 30-day video challenge, there's going to be one or two pieces of content that really resonates with your audience. And, once you know that, obviously you can take that piece of content and you can go ahead and amplify it. The thing that ends up resonating with your audience, that's the thing that you take and you go to other platforms to talk about, right? So for me, the thing that I take and go to other platforms and talk about is a 4-step micro commitment strategy. How did I know that that's the content that's going to resonate? Well, I know that that's the content that's going to resonate because I published that content, more in-house first, more to my audience. And after publishing that content to my audience, I was able to determine what it is that resonates. Then I can go ahead and take that piece of content and I can share that piece of content with my other people. So there's probably some more things that I've probably learned and some other things that resonates with me from a recap standpoint, but those are the things that stand out. Again, this is just day 30 of a 30-day video challenge for me. And this is not the last time I'm going to be publishing content. Obviously, I'm probably going to start another 30-day video challenge again, very soon, for all of the reasons I just mentioned. So if you are, honestly, it doesn't matter what it is that you, that you sell. If you provide a service, I encourage you to publish content, because it's going to definitely transform you and transform, your business, and do it from a long-term standpoint. My guess is if you publish content 3 times a week, and you go back and you look at yourself a year from now, you will see that a lot has changed. Some of that opportunity that you're saying, oh my gosh, I wish I had this opportunity. Some of that opportunity that you've been thinking about, you wish that you had, those opportunities will come to you. Me publishing content, I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, I like the content that you're publishing. I want you to be on my podcast, right? So I didn't initiate those type of outreaches. It's people that saw my content that said, okay, I want to have you on, on my podcast. So publish, because it's going to help you. It's going to help you, your business. And that's it. Day 30-day video challenge. That's all I have for you. I see there's a handful of you guys that are on. Thanks for tuning in. Pound live if you happen to be live, and pound replay if you happen to be catching me via the replay. That's it for now. I'll talk to you soon.